guys, and welcome back to another video. So today, as I said last time, like earlier this week, I am going to do a few more watercolor speed paints just because it's kind of more convenient for me to film at the moment, and because I kind of want to continue this series, I guess. It's not exactly a series as in like for YouTube videos or like speed paints. It's more like my own series because I would like to work towards a The8 Fashion zine, I guess, of his different outfits. So either from like airport fashions, photo shoots, performances, anything else that's like, I guess, revealed to the public kind of thing. Just any outfits that really stand out and I kind of really want to paint or draw. And yeah, that project's been kind of pushed to the back burner a little bit this year, even though I wanted to start it like earlier because I did draw The8 quite a bit. I think I have about 12 of these chibi illustrations, 12 or 13 I think. And ideally I would like to have like 20 something illustrations, or at least like full color illustrations where they're done as like this, like a watercolor chibi. So a little bit about process. I usually do my sketch using the Pilot Color Eno, and this time I did it in pink, I believe. I usually use red, but this time I decided to use pink instead. Not sure why, it's just what I had on hand. And after that, I take a kneaded eraser, lightly go over my sketch, and then use any kind of HB Mechanical Pencil in 0.5 and add my clean sketch on top. So this is to minimize any, I guess, first hard lines that are hard to erase, because I know where to place lines now. Like it's more confident, or like I'm more confident putting down like the pencil lines to give me an idea where things should be going, I guess. And because, as I talk about in other videos, the pink Pilot Color, or any color of the Pilot Color Eno Mechanical Pencil leads, they dissolve in water. If you kind of go over it a little bit, it kind of dissolves. It depends on how hard or how light you put down the lead, but it does dissolve in water. So I do a clean graphite sketch on top, like the clean sketch on top, just because I know that won't dissolve, and I only make sure that the pencil lines that I put down are going to be covered later by watercolors like entirely. So usually I do line work afterwards. If you're familiar with my work, I tend to do line art afterwards just for a bit of a softer look. It looks a little bit more cleaner and more soft this way. I don't really like using like pigment liners or anything like that, just because if I could, I would have like pigment liners of like every color, but also using the brush just feels a little bit more natural to me. Sometimes I fiddle a lot with it actually, because sometimes I have too much water and it creates too thick of lines or too watery of lines, and they're not ideal. But sometimes when I concentrate enough and I have that steady arm, I can do really thin, nice line work, as you can see I'm doing right now on his face. Usually when I do line work, I usually do it around the ear area, and I usually start with the skin color. So usually I don't place down all the colors at once, just because like that's how I work. I usually tackle the skin first, and as the skin dries, I sometimes do the hair if I didn't do like shadows near the hairline, or I work on the clothes so that I can let the skin fully dry and then keep rendering the skin and layering on the skin until I can do the line work. It just gives me a little bit more confidence knowing that like I won't screw it up. I'm not too particular when it comes to hair and clothing. So for me, I think process, I would usually do I would do skin first, because that makes or breaks a piece for me, because that's usually dealing with the face. And I kind of flip-flop between eyes and hair, because eyes and hair kind of touch each other usually, because I draw people usually with longer-ish hair where the hair meets the eyes. so I don't want things bleeding into each other, so I tend to pick one or the other, move on to the clothes, because for me clothes is like where I can have the most fun. I can add like funky colors, I can make up clothing folds for the most part. I think that's like the fun part about watercolors and layering, is just seeing the folds come to life a little bit, especially with these kind of like I like to call them little fashion drawings. They're not like typical fashion drawings. So if you're in like to fashion design and all that, I'm not saying that this is a fashion illustration. I'm just basing it on, I want to make a zine based on his looks, his fashion looks, basically. Kind of like a lookbook, kind of, in a way. But yeah, I definitely would like to do more of these in the future, as well as actually tackling the editing for this zine. So I've compiled like a lot of different pictures and scanned versions of sketches of Ming Hao or The8 from my sketchbooks, and I want to compile them for the zine, but I'm not sure how I would like to format it, because a lot of the sketches aren't clean enough for me to edit properly in a way that makes sense next to these chibis. Now initially I might change it so that I could have like maybe the left page be a The8 chibi and then the right page kind of like tying in or like trickling. How do I explain this? I don't know how to explain it. But like left side will have the clean chibi, nothing really surrounding it. On the right side, kind of bleeding into the left side a little bit, depending on the size of this, I would have like sketches of the same outfit, but like in a different style, like my anime-ish style, not my chibi style. And kind of have it like that, just to give it more variety. I like the look of my sketches, but I'm not sure if it works for putting random sketches together in a format that looks like cohesive, or I just need more time to really figure out how I want to edit things together. Yeah, it might just be that. But I also might, probably not in my current sketchbook because I'm very close to being done. I probably have maybe 15-ish pages before I finish that sketchbook. And then I actually have some new sketchbooks next to me that I'm going to talk about in probably the sketchbook tour whenever that will come out, maybe at the end of January. And yeah, I would like to focus on making layouts of his fashion looks specific to each like watercolor chibi. So yeah, ideally I would like to have at least 24, meaning the zine might have like 48-ish pages. I would like it to be not like a super duper thin zine. There's like zines that I have from other artists who've done like sketch zines, or like I was part of a collaboration for a few other zines, and the zines have like a lot of pages in them, like quite a bit of pages, like maybe at least 30 plus pages. Kind of aiming for that just because I prefer like the thickness of it. I don't know. Let's see if I have enough content to fill up that zine. Another zine that I would like to do, which will be in a square format, will be like a Wonu painting zine, digital painting zine. Just because there's a lot of like concepts and stuff that I like to explore with him. So back to the illustration, I'm just finishing up the line work. So I just have the line work for his clothing. I actually really like this. This is probably one of my favorite illustrations just because how neat and tidy it looks, as well as his pose, as well as the colors. Obviously the color palette mostly comes from the whole outfit already being chosen. It's not exactly the way I painted it that makes me like, wow, I really like it. But yeah, I think I matched the colors quite well. If I find the picture, I will put it up because this is based off of one of his magazine shoots from, I don't remember the brand name, but it's a Chinese brand, I believe. But yeah, maybe in the future I'll do a few other members. Obviously they won't be for the zine, but I would like to do a few more. Next week's video will be another watercolor chibi, probably of The8. I have a few more footage. That doesn't make sense. I have more footage of other illustrations of him, so that's probably what's going to be coming up. But yeah, I really like this one. I think he turned out super duper cute. yeah, if you guys have any questions about watercolors and stuff, feel free to ask in the comments, and I'll make sure to try to answer them when I can get to them, because I am taking a little bit of a break, so I'm not sure if I'm going to be monitoring the comments this time. But yeah, just adding white highlights with my white gouache, and he's pretty much done. I did do the lettering, not very well, but I did want to acknowledge that there was text on his sweater. But yeah, really did enjoy this piece. I hope you guys enjoyed watching the process, and I'll talk to you guys next time with another watercoloring video. So yeah, thank you very much for watching, and I'll talk to you guys next week. Bye!